right, off the cuff. It is Sunday the 15th. I missed Valentine's Day because your boy was out in these streets doing what grown men do, single grown men do when they don't have a Valentine, and that was go and have a good time, enjoy myself, and I did exactly that. Paying for it, right? 34, soon to be 35. Hangovers don't feel the way that they used to in my 20s or even my early 30s. Hell, even the way that they felt last year. But I've been nursing it for the most part of today, and I'm feeling good. I am still no, actually today marks a full week of being free of the devil's lettuce, marijuana, and so I had my first race of the year. Also my first race since starting this journey, and my body reacted and handled it a lot better than I thought it would. About the race itself, a little bit disappointed with the time. I was aiming for a sub 50 minutes, ended up doing like a 51:22, but still happy with the performance, all things considered. I got 59th out of 918 participants in the 10K, which is pretty significant in my opinion, knowing that less than 100 people beat me on the race. Uh, Even on a race where I wasn't too sure about how strongly I'd perform. Taught me a couple things, stronger, faster, and I've got more endurance than I thought I did. Going into the race, I told myself as long as I'm somewhere in between 8:20, 8:30 pace, I would count that as a success. Ended it with about an 8:05, which shout out to you, Michael. And honestly, it could have been faster. The first 2 miles, I really was just keeping my pace pretty slow. The first mile, I think it was like a 8:28 or something like that. And the second mile was somewhere around that too, 8:25 or whatever. But it was when I opened up and just extended my stride and left the pack behind is just when my body rose to the occasion. I was really fucking surprised by it. So shout out to me. I'm happy about that. Afterwards, I got to hang out with Sean, which is always a good time. That is literally one of my best friends here in Charlotte. He's good people. He provided great photography, great commentary, and we vibe very well. The chemistry of our friendship is just chef's kiss. I always enjoyed myself. We ended up spending the day in Camp North End, taking pictures, visiting the different shops, and talking about the people that we saw around there. And then we went to South End afterwards to get a drink at Craft, I think is the name of the place, yeah. Craft Flights, I believe is the name of the bar. Where we also met some new people sitting at the bar and just talking to people. I think I've got like an infectious energy, and I can insert myself into a situation and make it a good one. And I enjoyed myself. Later on that night, ended up at a spades party with a bunch of people that I'd never met before, and got an opportunity to kind of grow my circle here in Charlotte. And honestly, with this improved clarity, it is helping me remain intentional about building my life, my social life here in Charlotte. It feels like I met a lot of amazing people yesterday, and God just continues to open up doors for me to see more people. So, really happy about where this is. I'm not going to make this a long brief today, but I enjoyed my weekend and I look forward to what life has to offer. All right, still got a hangover. I'm tired as hell. I'll talk to you later. All right, back at it again. It is February 16th. Yeah, it's February 16th. And giving another update when it comes to this sobriety check-in of mine. So, I can't really gauge how I'm feeling physiologically today, just because I think I was dealing with a little bit of sickness and some fatigue as well. So I'm not going to talk about that side. I am going to talk about mental clarity today because it was another day of being locked in. But again, I think some of it was affected by the fact that I just wasn't feeling well. So I've been dealing with a bit of a hangover and sickness since Sunday. There was a lot of digestive issues and a lot of fogginess, and my nasals felt swollen up. So much so that I didn't go to work today. Let me rephrase that. I worked from home. I didn't go into the office today. Typically, I go in Monday through Wednesday, but this week I wasn't feeling well. I'm gonna attempt to go in tomorrow because I was feeling a bit better today. But we'll see how I feel once I wake up in the morning. Last thing I want to do is to remain contagious and infect somebody else. So more to follow in that regard. As far as my day today, it was a good day. You know, as I reflect and I tap into it, there were a lot of highlights to today that I want to go over. So first and foremost, praise God that I woke up this morning. You know, all blessings go to Him. But I got the opportunity to sleep in a little bit this morning because I didn't go into the office. So that left my spirits kind of high. Although my hating behind watch likes to tell me that I didn't get enough sleep or my sleep cycle wasn't good enough. Whatever. Um, but throughout today, I had a very successful working day where really made some strides with my different team members. Still going through career conversations and had some really healthy conversations behind that. Let me think. Also shared some of my running victories with my peers at the job and got a lot of positive reinforcement that way. So really thankful that I've got some support from my community, at least my professional community. My friends and my family, they are all in support of it, and usually they're giving my flowers. So I'm super happy about that and thankful. From a relationship perspective, while I still don't know if 2026 is going to be the year where I get into a relationship, I'm still keeping that muscle strong and dating with intention. I've got a couple of people who I'm learning their personality, they're learning mine, and I'm really just getting back into the groove of things again because coming from all of these long term relationships, sometimes that muscle can get atrophied and you've got to work on it again. And boy, let me tell you, my shit is atrophied. I think on some levels I've forgotten the art of like a fresh relationship, being locked in with people, with two people, right, in two long term relationships. I've learned the comfort of being there and learning the other person, but that ease of communication is not there when it's a new person in your life. So relearning that, but all of them bring something different to the table. All of them are super exciting, and I'm super. Let me not say super. I feel hopeful that they will go somewhere in the future, and that I'll find the person, or maybe even the people, who are in my corner. So more to follow in that regard. I also made some pretty interesting strides today financially. Took the time to build out my business plan. Not to build it to a T because this is my first entrepreneurial endeavor. So I really don't know what I'm doing in that regard. But I did spend some time on the internet today trying to figure out how does one start to build a business plan. Because you hear all the time, like, you got to have a business plan. You got to know what you're doing. You got to know your value proposition. You got to know what your cost structure is going to look like. And while all of that is great, if you've never done it before, it can be overwhelming. It can be confusing. You can feel like there are gaps and holes in your analysis. But for me, I just took the first swing at it tonight because you have to put one foot forward and then from there start to refine and make things better and start to make progress. But progress has to start from somewhere. And I know that that's my strength is starting, but being consistent with it is a muscle that I'm trying to build up right now. That's part of the reason why I'm doing this series, so I can maintain my consistency with just my social media presence, with my voiceover work, being more intentional with that, with my camera presence, and just again doing something that I started that I found a lot of value in, and just being consistent with it. So here we are. I'm doing it. Went to my carpentry class today. Another great day using the power tools. I'm realizing that there's a long way that I've got to go before I'll be ready to get this side hustle off the ground. And after doing this initial steps of the business plan today for this carpentry, it's going to take a lot of money to start this up. I'm talking thousands of dollars because I've got to get tools, materials, utilize the space that I need. It's going to be a lot. So I've got to understand and I've got to hustle up another source of income in that way. And I think this is where the modeling and or the voiceover work is really going to pay its dividends. So that is my end goal. That is where I'm going to. But overall, February 16th was a successful day. May God willing, I will continue to have more and more great days. And I'll talk to you all later. All right, this is going to serve as day 9, 10, and 11's entry for me going no za, me no more smoking. I ain't gonna hold you. I missed a couple days because your boy was down bad and out. Like this physiological stuff that I was telling you about. Whoo! Something about week 2 hit different than week 1. Let me tell you, I couldn't sleep the past couple of nights. I know I've been telling you, actually the past week or so, I've been telling you guys that I've only been getting a couple hours of sleep. That shit hit different the past couple of nights. I'm talking like 3-4 hours, just cold sweats in the middle of the night, tossing and turning, sleep for an hour, and then up looking at the clock. It was crazy. I would like to say that I'm on the other end, but last night was another night of me only getting like 3.5 hours of sleep. I laid down at 11:30, and according to this watch that tracks my sleep, I didn't fall asleep until about 2:30 in the morning, and it said I got like 2 hours of light sleep, 13 minutes of deep sleep, 11 minutes of REM, and then I was just awake, tossing and turning the rest of the time. So this is not for the weak, but I do want to remain encouraged. I got my hair done last night, and my stylist was telling me about years ago, 3-4 years ago, when she quit, that it was real hard for her, and she locked into some meditation. I don't know if I'm gonna do all that. I feel like my whole life is kind of a meditation. I breathe often. I tell myself that I will succeed. That's just kind of built into who I am, and I'll continue to be that person. It's just trucking through this time, and I've got full faith that I'm gonna make it. All the research that I'm doing tells me that this is supposed to be the turning point, and I'm just looking at my watch like, okay, it's time for us to turn this point, and I'm hopeful for it. So here we are, step into day 12 of this journey, and I know God's got me. Peace.